OS 2200 QProcessor Initial Configuration. In this demo, we'll look at the initial configuration wizard to set up an OS 2200 QProcessor from the administration console. Here we'll review the network overview. The Unisys field engineer should have installed the AM/LAN switch with the Dorado partition and the operation server. The QProcessors are configured through the administration console. But before doing that, let's review the checklist. The first thing you do is choose a unique designation for this QProcessor. All QProcessors attached to the AM/LAN switches should have a unique designation. Verify the AM/LAN subnet is OK. The default is 172.28. If not, you'll have to choose your own subnet and adjust all the addresses on the QProcessor, the operation server, and the OS 2200 Dorado partition. Decide if you're going to connect your QProcessor to a public LAN. What will its address and gateway be? And are you going to use IPv4 or IPv6? The operation server should be configured with a compatible address to the AM/LAN. We set a default at 172.28.200, where the last digits are either 10, 11, 12, 13. Select the OS 2200 administration user ID for solar installations. This will be used to install WMQ 2200. The OS 2200 Dorado partition should be configured in CPCOM and CPCOM OS to enable COM API, and the IP address should be compatible with your AM/LAN subnet. We suggest 172.28.101 with the last part being 10, 12, 14, or 16 to accommodate 4 Dorado partitions. Now let's see what happens in the administration console. Here's the network configuration. First, you set a designation. It must be unique in all systems connected to your switch. You can select your own IP addresses or use the default 172.28 addresses. Next, you set up your public IP. IPv6 may be disabled. We key in the gateway for IPv4. After this, we can add the appropriate IPv4 addresses. It must be a static address so that web users can connect to the QProcessor. The DHCP option is available for testing. After the IP address is keyed in, the netmask and broadcast are automatically filled in and saved. Next, we configure the ULRM configuration. This allows alerts to be sent to Operation Server Sentinel. The time zone may be set next, and an optional NTP server can be set. In the OS 2200 configuration tab, you key in the name of the OS 2200 user who will be installing WebSphere MQ for 2200. IPMI is used for automatic power up and power down. After it's done, the next thing you do is click Apply. This applies all your settings. Since IPv6 was disabled, we will have to reboot our system. The initial configuration wizard tells you what your new addresses are. When the system is complete, you can now access the administration console through the new management link. This opens up a new window. This completes this demo.